Don't pay any attention to that, girls. When you get out there, you do bell the way you feel. If the music pushes your feet, push your feet, kick, turn sideways, stand away, do anything you feel like doing, but don't just stand there like a stick. You girls are wonderful dancers because without you, the men would be nothing. They can't get out there and dance by themselves. You are balance, you are a complement, so play the part, do your thing along with them. Madeline Green, we had Marie Fido, there was Venna Archer, me, and Edie Czar. Now that was the original 5 bell gals. I'm talking about 1942 and 43, war years, World War II. We were the 5 and we danced mostly at the Palladium and clubs around Hollywood. The girls could follow any and everybody. They could adjust to every different style they danced with. That was very unusual, and no matter what the fellows did, they could adjust, and it didn't look bad at all. In fact, it looked pretty good.
At the top and Marie Fido. Willie is one of the best swing dancers in the world. Watch those feet.
Willie told me, as a kid, he was so clumsy, he was lucky to get a girl to dance with him.
Maybe then, but now he's got the girls lined up and waiting to show you what a little persistence can do.
Well, he's terrific, that's for sure.
really start dancing till about 1955, 54, 55. And I had a date one night with this, he was a pretty good dancer, and he pointed this guy out to me, and he said, I want you to see this guy dance. You'll never see another one like him. So I had seen him about a year and a half before I actually met him. And I wasn't really into dancing, so I really wasn't that impressed.
Ed Thompson had a peculiar style of his own. It was a very tiny-footed step, and he had little breaks. He had a little running step.
That's Ed and Inez Thompson, and they're doing a thing called the Balboa.
I've been watching that couple all afternoon, and they are smooth. But Dean, just what is the Balboa?
The Balboa, Letitia, was invented in Southern California in the 30s and is a smooth version of a dance called the shag.
There are some obscure people that no one seems to remember. There was Sailor Bob, who danced a running style of bell, circling around the room.
Balboa, as we know it, started out with a double shuffle. That's the only dance that ever started on the West Coast and never went east.
Then there was, my favorite of all time was Harry Berlin, who it seems to be lost. Nobody seems to notice. He was inventive. He taught at private clubs. You know, he was a guest, but people would ask him to come up and teach or to show anyone, and he was very willing. Harry Berlin was one of the easiest persons I ever danced with.
And Willie Desitoff and Maxie Dorf and we spent the whole night talking about the Balboa. And it was very surprising to people that used to think the bal was just 1, 2, 3 kick. There's a lot more to it, and they were two of the greatest bal dancers that I ever saw. And I'll go along with the fact that Hal Takier was considered top of the run too. And we even came up with our own little name for the Balboa, which was the Laminoo. And what it was is really, it's a slow bal. And if these fellows are talking about when you get old, I think this is something that you want to learn. And there really aren't many people that can do this slow val or laminu.
Darlene says you're cheating, Ray.
There's Johnny and Ann Mills. Johnny's an investment stockbroker, and Ann's an assistant to the Dean of University of Southern California.
Well, Ann told me that no one she works with believes she's a dancer because she's so quiet most of the time.
Maybe at work, but not on the dance floor. Ann's one of the swingin'est partners in town.
Well, I can see that.
This is not the same Balboa we used to knock out stones. Remember? That's what killed me.
Got it? You get it?
That's the way you used to go. You wanted to have the upstairs balcony, you could sit down.
Got it? Good.
I'm very happy to see people taking it up. I thought I was a dinosaur, and when I left I was going to turn out the lights. But then people like Willie and Maxie Dorf and others taught you folks, and I'm grateful because you're verifying everything that I do. I see you doing the steps that I have done for all my life. You do it your way, and that's fine, but it is the same step, and I enjoy watching you.
Well, I started like the rest of these folks that are around my age, in the middle to late 30s dancing. Many, many evenings are spent at the Rendezvous Ballroom. That was probably the greatest dance hall I think I was ever at. As they said, it's a block long, held all kinds of people. And if you couldn't do the Balboa, you really couldn't dance there because you didn't have room to do anything else. It was so packed. You got about 3 by 3, and that's about all you got. But there's a lot of good steps that were done in the Balboa, a lot of good ones. But if you learn to do the Balboa, try to learn to do it smooth. That's the secret.
Willie Desatoff, the greatest. I'll tell you what, kids, in his heyday, you couldn't dance with him. He had so many unusual moves.
There goes the great legendary Willie Desatoff and his wife Lila doing some classic Balboa. Oh, and it's pretty. You've seen the very best that you can find in dancing today. I think the West Coast gang here could probably challenge the New Yorkers. This is one of Willie's better days.
from the time I was 12 years old when I first saw Fred Astaire dance in the movies, and I said to myself, that's the way I'd like to dance. And ever since then, Fred Astaire has always been my instructor. He probably didn't even know that he was teaching me so much. See, but it was styling, and one thing he emphasized was always finesse, finesse, finesse. So anyhow, he was very much responsible for me developing a style, because I tried to emulate him, but I don't even look like him, and I don't dance like him, but I did try to do his style and bring it into swing dancing. So anyhow, I just say this, I say, listen, all you kids and all you grown-ups, you have a chance to be indoctrinated into a group of people of your own, say, your own level, that you will be hung up on dancing for the rest of your lives. So maybe you're cursed, huh? Well, anyhow, you're going to enjoy it, and I want to thank you for letting me say a few words. Thanks.
By the way, my real name is Louie. Bart's the nickname. All my three brothers are Bart, so is my dad Bart. Anyway, nice. Yeah, I started dancing when I was 12 years old, 1937. I got the years mixed up. I was 12 years old in 1937. My two older brothers were good Balboa dancers, not swing dancers. They were ballroom dancers. There was no cha-cha, salsa, any of that stuff. Either the rumba or the tango. They were good. And they taught me in my dad's wine cellar how to dance. And we used to go to the Pasadena Civic Auditorium, free, not free, but no liquor put up by the city of Pasadena. That's where I learned to dance. And then they would bring me down here to Balboa. You young kids, enjoy what you've got. And I'm going to give you one tip. The Balboa is not a dance of steps. It's the easiest dance in the world to break down. It's the hardest dance in the world to get the feel of it. Half the guys I see dancing the Balboa, I wear better clothes to wash my car in.
About a year and a half later, I go to the same club, and he walks up and asks me to dance, and I said, no, I've seen you dance. Well, he didn't give up. So he took me down to the Nordondo Club, and we started dating, and taught me to do his lead, which I thought I was doing well until he tried that. And he's the most unusual. There's nobody like him, right, Peter? Nobody does his style, and that's what I admired about him, because he never wanted to look like anybody else. If you've seen any of his video with Peter, fortunately, Peter found out some of the things that he did and got his video of Maharaja.
bounce me, brother with a solid four. Come on in, the whole place is jumping.
You should see this cute little finale that they used to do. Each couple would get out and do their little specialty, and then they would all 8 come out, and they would all line up in a line. And what was your little finale, Hal? Now, ladies and gents,
we'd like to do just 1 or 2 more steps for you. Now you step back, you ball and jack, shim sham shimmy, and you chicken scratch. Fall off the log and turn around, do a little break, and you
shimmy on down.
Club foot down.
Club foot down.
Great. Yeah.
That's Hal and Marge Savoy. They're doing Hal's own version of the Flying Lindy, and no one follows him quite like Marge.
Well, I can see why. But then again, this isn't the first time they've danced together, is it?
I guess not. They've been married better than 30 years.
That's Hal and Marge again.
Yep, you just can't keep those two off the dance floor. Believe it or not, Hal just celebrated his 65th birthday right here at Father McGee's, and all of the dances really turned out for him.
Ah, to be 65 and young again, huh?
Of all the swing dancers that ever lived, this was the most unique style I ever saw.
Thank you.
They don't come any better.
Thank you.
Yeah. Big one.
What drove you to be different?
Well, I had been to several dances and seen several swingers, and they all look alike to me, styling-wise. And I said, boy, I don't want to look like that. I want to get something that's different. So that's how I got started.
So when Dean died, we're at the funeral in Forest Lawn, and they're calling off the pallbearers because we're going to be leaving the chapel place where we had done the service, and we were going to the mausoleum. And so they went off the pallbearers, and the last one was Maxie Dorf, and I'm thinking, oh my God, he's here. Oh my God, he's here. I mean, I was sad.
She's going, oh boy, oh boy. And people around her are like, ooh.
I don't think it was quite that obvious, really. And when I got the nerve to go up to him and say, excuse me, I know that this is not the correct time or place, but you, we've been looking for you. And Dean really said we should work with you, and would, is that possible? He gave me this look like, what, are you crazy?
This was at the funeral.
At the funeral, yeah. And I knew it was an inopportune time, but I'd been looking for him.
Inappropriate.
And couldn't find him anyplace, and I thought, well, if he leaves, then I'm screwed, kind of.
Yeah.
I need to find him. So the look on his face was pretty much trying to discern whether I was a stalker, whether I was smoking crack, kind of what was going on. That was pretty funny.
Jonathan and Sylvia then started taking lessons from Maxie at Dean Collins' house on the floor, the dance floor that Willie Desitoff built. After the war and into the 70s, Maxie made a career for himself in photography. He would go around the local Los Angeles schools and shoot the class photos. See if you can guess who this person is in this particular class photo.
Maxie Dorf was absolutely the best Balboa dancer I have ever seen, male or female.
That was easy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Joel's the one I gotta worry about.
I'm too far?
You gotta learn the circle. You heard me, you don't need it on tape.
Oh, I want it on tape.
Okay, let me sit down. I've taught so many people and I know what to expect. I can tell whether, I've had to tell people that find another dance.
Before we go.
Nice, we got 2 hours yet.
I know, but we're simple-minded. We just need
We
to.
will recap when we're finished.
Oh, okay.
It's not good that we can. Yeah, it's not good that we have to start all over again.
No, it's okay.
Come on. That's what I just see you're doing a Peter Pan. You're looking like a fairy. Now, what did I say this whole thing is about? Is that just before?
Yeah.
You must let it flow by itself. After you learn the move, then you can finesse it and put something into it. You're not ready to teach this for another 3 to 6 months. Because I want you to have it perfect before I teach you. Listen, you guys, has that got sound on it?
Yes, it does.
Everything I'm showing you, Balboa swing, is effortless. Should be. That's right. It's supposed to be effortless. And you're going to let the moves, the centrifugal force, everything's done in a circle. Everything you do, you never go across the board with anything. It's always tight. And the longer you do this, the tighter it's going to get. Yes. And you'll be easier eating this way and this way. You never want to see up here or down here. Okay. All the steps I'm showing you can be done from any position whenever you want because of the circle of movements you're doing. Whatever comes to your head, do it. Why do you want to see it?
Because it's just so smooth. Oh.
Because I'm doing it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Well, a little bit of prick.
65 years and you were asking me.
coming from those days, they danced a lot of up-tempo. I mean, some real fast numbers that required a lot of footwork, and these were two of the finest exponents of fast footwork that you'll ever see.
Oh boy, they're really going at it now. The great Max Dorf, and of course they're mimicking, one is mimicking a woman, and you're looking at two of the very finest girls in the country. They're doing California Balboa. Oh, and this is gorgeous. You're looking at a combined age of 130 years. Well, they're going about 240 beats a minute there. They didn't last long, but they did it.
I have to say something else. We're talking too damn much. Why don't we get up and dance?